Hello everyone, welcome to Datafield Networks. In this video, I'll show us how to configure the Palo Alto Firewall using the command line interface only. To this end, we're going to assume a scenario whereby internal users need to access the internet through the Palo Alto Firewall. So I'll go ahead to my VMware workstation and import the Palo Alto Firewall for our setup. Let's take a ride. So I'm launching the VMware workstation. So here I will import the Palo Alto OVA. We're going to File, click on Open. I'll select the PVM ESX 7.01 and open. I'll import and wait for my file to upload. I'm not going to pause this video as I like to make my videos as real time as possible. In the meantime, I'll just let us have a view of our plan in this scenario. So we have some steps to cover. The first thing we're going to do is create zones. We're going to configure the virtual routers. We're going to configure the interfaces. We're going to assign interfaces to zones. And of course, we're going to assign interfaces to virtual routers. We're going to configure routing. We configure the rules. We're going to configure the network address translation, which is NAT. Once the file loads up, I'll be going ahead to convert the E1000 adapters into the VMX Net 3 type, which is suitable for the Palo Alto Firewall. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my two extra adapters by clicking on any of the adapters. So I'm going to click on Add. I'll say yes. So select the network adapter. Next. I'll finish. I'm going to add one more adapter. are finished for now. So I'll select the first adapter, which is our management interface. So I'll customize it. I want to use the VMnet one, virtual networks. So select the second adapter, VMnet 2. This is the fourth adapter. So I want to use the VMnet 4 for that. For the network adapter 3, first VMnet 3. So I'll click OK. So I have my adapters. So I need to convert my E1000 type to the VMnet 3. So of course I'll go to my start computer, look at this, go to the user. Pretty much I'm following this part on the VMware workstation. I'm following this part right here. So I go to my instance, just quickly, and I go to my documents. So I go to my virtual machines, and I go to the PAVM ESX 7.01. So the configuration file is the one with the VMX format, and it's usually size 3 KB. So I'll select and open with a notepad. So I just need to edit. I'll replace E1000 with the VMX net 3 VMX. Please ensure that please ensure that it is VMX net 3. So replace all. So I'm going to close, file, save. I like to save twice. So I close my folder. So now I can power on my firewall. So let's wait for it. But in the meantime, I can go to my GNS3. I'm going to unlock my GNS3. So I like to call this Auto Config CLI. So I'll just check on my boxes. I click OK. So I will drag in my firewall, which is the host in this case. So I need some switches. I need a management machine. It's going to be Windows 7 in this case. Even though I might not use my Windows 7, my management PC, because that would defeat our purpose, because we are trying to use the command line for all our configurations. So let's just put it there, just for customary Palo Alto setup, depicting the management network. So I'm going to drag in the cloud for the internet access. So I'm going to configure the firewall. So I'll first delete all these generic adapters. I'll select the VMnet one, add. Select the VMnet 2, and add. Select the VMnet 3, add. VMnet 4, and add. So I'll apply and OK. So So I will pick up my cable. So I'll connect my VMnet 1 to the switch 2. So this is going to be the connection to the management PC. I'll connect my internal user PC, and I'll connect my switch to the internal interface of the firewall, which is VMnet 2 in this case. So I'll just quickly put a label on this. It's going to be internal user. So this is the guy that needs to access the internet. So this is a Palo Alto, this is a pound firewall. Let me use car for that. So here's our management network. We're going to be using the default network, which in this case class 24, of which our management default IP is .1. So we can use the dot 6 here, management. So I'll connect my VMnet 3, which is going to represent our external interface, to switch 3. I can configure the cloud with the MS loopback. MS loopback is Microsoft based like virtual router that links from the virtual net environment to the internet. So, of course, this network is going to be 192.168.137.0 of the MS loopback, which is .1. So I'll name this .2. I can call this .3. Internal interface .3. I'll call this internal user machine .10. So I can save my project. So for now, I'm going to be powering on the internal user machine. Start. So I'll leave my management machine off for now. So PC, and then PC. So I'll leave it off for now because I really don't need it as I'm doing my configuration on the CLI, just to save my system resources. Okay, my internal user PC is coming up. Alright. In the meantime, let me go try and log into my firewall admin, and the password is admin. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so my firewall is ready. So I need to check my Windows 7. My Windows 7 is coming up. So what I will do is I'm going to configure my Windows 7 with the IP address, with the right IP address. I need to put an IP address here. So this should be 192.168.1. Let me use 14.0 slash 24. So my Win 7, we have an IP address of 14.10. As we can see in this apology. Let me see. So, all right, let me log in. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to change the IP address. If it's not what we need right now, CMD IP config, verifying my IP. Okay, so we have 12.11, which is not what we need. We need 14.10. So I'm going to go to start, go to control panel. I go to view network status within task. I go to local area connection. Go to properties. System is acting up. Okay. I'll select TCP/IP properties. I'll change this to 14.10. So the in this case, my default gateway is 14.3, which is the firewall's internal interface. I will need the DNS server here, which is my MS loopback. So I'm going to leave that, and I'll click OK. Oops. My system is frozen. Hopefully, it comes back on time. All right. Okay. All right. So I'll do ipconfig slash all now on my internal user machine. So I have I2 is 168, 14.10, and I have my default gateway, and I have my DNS service pointing to 137.1. That's my MS loopback. Okay, that looks good. Just to establish a case, I can ping 4.2.2. As a matter of fact, I'm getting destination unreachable. All right, I'm getting a timeout. Okay, this shows that my traffic is not finding its way through to the firewall. So right now, I'll go to the command line and start my configuration. So as planned, I want to start configuring zones, virtual routers, and get to interfaces. All right, so let's go to the command line. So I'll say configure, my first command. So to understand the command line in Palo Alto, it's as good as understanding the logic of the web UI. Once you understand the logic of the web UI, it's easy for you to navigate the command line, and vice versa. So I'll say set. Most of the commands start with set. So you can use a tab to look at all a lot of options you have. So in this case, I want to configure uh, a zone. So see, I have an option of zone. I'll say set zone. I'll press tab again. So it's telling me to give a name for the zone. So I'll go to trust, set zone trust. I can say enter. All right, I've got a zone already, and the zone is called trust. And I'll set another zone, and I'll call it set zone trust. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create virtual routers. So I'm gonna say set network, because the virtual routers, they are inside the container network from our web UI. I'll say set network. If I look at the tab, I'll see virtual routers. So I'll say virtual router. So two things: understand the logic on the web UI, and be make your tab key handy in this case. So set virtual router. So I'll do tab. So we already have a default virtual router. Well, I don't want to use that. I want to use my own instance. I'll say VR1, enter. All right. So I already have a virtual router, VR1. So now, according to plan, we can go ahead and configure some of the interfaces. So I'll say set interface, set network actually, because the network is inside the interface is inside the network. So set network, then I can use tab till I get interface. Yes, interface, interface. What interface? I do tab. It's going to be an Ethernet interface. We have lots of interfaces. We have the loopback, the tunnel. We have the so this is an Ethernet interface type. So and I want to configure the interface. I need to configure the Ethernet 1, Ethernet 1, which is going to be our internal interface. That's 14.3. And 1, okay. So I think the next thing should be the IP. Let me use the tab. So okay, I need to specify what layer. Layer it's gonna be layer. It's gonna be a layer 3 on my tab. I can use my tab to see what's the next thing. So I have a lot of options. I can set the MTU for this interface. I set the interface management profile, which is usually the under the advanced the web UI. If you're conversant with our web UI, so I'll do the layer 3 IP 192 plus 168 dot 14.3 slash 24. Enter. That's it. So I have my interface set. So I'll set the second interface. I'll set network interface. Ethernet. In this case, it's going to be Ethernet 1, 2. It's going to be a layer 3 interface. And with the IP, so let me be sure what my IP is here. My IP is 137.2. So I'll say 92. That's 137.2/4. Enter. All right. At this point, I can commit and see what I get in my commit. I might get some errors. Some extra information. Okay. So it's telling me that my interfaces need to belong to some zones, and my interface has to belong to at least a virtual router. So I'll go ahead and assign, according to plan, assign my interfaces to virtual routers and zones. So my interface 1, is going to be assigned to trust zone. So I'll say set 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 zone trust. I'll say the network. So this is already showing us how to use a user application on a zone. We can do that, but it is not uh, our case right now. So we want a layer 3 set zone trust network layer 3. We want an interface. So that's going to be Ethernet. So we have Ethernet 1,1 in this case available. Ethernet 1,1. Let's see the other options I have. I think that's all. That's it. So my Ethernet 1,1 belongs to zone called trust. I also say set zone trust network layer 3. No. So for the untrust now, I need the untrust layer 3. This is going to be layer 3 Ethernet 1,2. Since I want 1,2 to belong to untrust, I'll press enter. That's it. Now, for the virtual router, I'm going to say set network virtual router. So it's all about understanding the syntax and the logic. Set network virtual router. I'll use the yeah, this is the VR1, and I'll say what interface do you want? Of course, I want the two interfaces to belong to this virtual router. Ethernet 1, then 1, enter, and I'll say Ethernet 1, 2 also. All right. So there you have it. So I have my interfaces assigned to the zones and virtual routers. So I'm going to commit now and see if I will get any errors. Oh, okay. So this was committed successfully. Okay, we're moving on. All right. So now I'll I'll try to set up the routing on. So according to the topology, I need to do a default route to the internet. So if I go to the internal user machine, let me ping 4.2.2. Let's see what I get. Okay, now it's timing out proper. Okay, okay, all right. So I will go ahead and add a route, a default route. So how do I do that? I say set network. I say set network. So I'm going to be under virtual router. So the virtual router is going to be the VR1. It's going to be the VR1. So the tab is pointing us to that. So it's going to be on the VR1, and it's going to be routing table, VR1 routing table. So, okay, VR1 routing table. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do tab is going to be IP reputable IP static route. It's going to be a static route. What kind of route is it? So I'm going to name the route. I'm going to call it my route. My route space. I'm going to set it. I'm going to set the destination to be 0.0.0.0 is 0, and I'm going to say the next up. The next up is going to be 192 plus 128 plus 137. That's so. Do I have any other thing to put? To add admin distance. Admin distance is can use a default interface. I think the default value can be used for that. Next up is I think I can enter now. So it's saying invalid syntax. Okay. So here I'll try and see what the error is. So I'll go to base destination. Okay, I put the 0.0.0.0 slash 0 space next up. I'll say next up, next up, space. IP address. Okay, IP dash address. Okay, and that's what I missed. IP dash address 192.168.137.1. Yeah. So that's it. So that's my routing. You can see. So the tab can guide you once you know what you want to achieve. The tab is going to guide you to get to where you're going. In terms of configuration, command line configuration. So I can commit my routing. Let's see. Once I commit my routing, that will verify if my firewall can get on the internet. So just to show that my default routing is working. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ping source 192.168.137.2 the host 4.2.2. Oh, okay. I have to exit at this point. Oh, my bad. So I'm going to say ping source y2 dot 192.137.2 host 4.2.2. So let's see how it fares. That's it. So my firewall knows how to get to the Google 4.2.2.2. We'll control C, control out. So now I'm gonna go back to my Win XP and try to ping. And try to ping for the two. I'm still not getting access. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my firewall command line. So again, I'll say configure. So now I'm gonna attempt to do the uh, policy. I'm gonna create a rule. So I need a rule to allow me access the internet on the application ping. So I'll say set rule base rule base. I say question tab. So I have a lot of options: rule base, the security, the NAT, the DOS. These are the options you have under the policy for the web UI. So set rule base. So the rule base pretty much is equivalent to the policy on our web UI. So set rule base security. So this is going to be rules. So let me look at my option. Okay, I'm name my rule. I'll say internet access. Or let me just call it my rule for simplicity. My rule one, my rule one. So tab, there are a lot of options. So the next one is going to be from. Where am I coming from? We have options of description and all that. So I'll just say, where am I coming from? I'm coming from the trust zone. Trust. I'm coming from trust. coming from trust. I need to get to from trust and the source is I can use the network object from trust. Source is 192.168 dot anything from okay, I can even match the IP of the Win 7, which is source is 14.10. 14.10. From this zone with the source IP address, going to going to the to on trust on the destination on trust destination. That's the destination on trust is destination zone, destination IP address in this case is going to be I can use a lot of so this allows us to actually filter to countries. You can see you can actually block a whole country, like Zambia or any other country from accessing your resources. You can block your 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 internal users. You can prevent your internal users from accessing a particular country with the power of the CLI. So destination in this case is going to be any because I'm going to the internet. So I'm going to say the application is is if I do tab now, I'm going to have a lot of I'm just going to use ping straight up. Uh, so ping and I'm going to say this at this point the service is going to be application default just as we have in the web UI. Application default. Application is ping service application default. I'm going to say action. Action is allowed. I'll press enter. There you go. So I have my rule set. So you have to specify the zone, then the source, and of course the destination zone and the IP, which is any in this case. So let me go ahead and try my log. Okay. All right. So we're still not there yet from the internal user. So obviously our firewall is dropping our traffic. You can see right now. So what I would do is go ahead and set up network address translation because obviously this is a private IP address and we're trying to access the internet. So what is lacking here from experience is network address translation. So if we had access to the web UI, we would have seen the log. That's and another condition to that is licensing to see log. Anyway, so let's go back to our command line. So we're going to set a NAT rule. So we're going to set. So we're going to set rule base. So this in this case, NAT space rules. NAT space rules. So this is quite interesting. So set NAT rules. So I'm going to call it my NAT one. So I'm coming from the trust zone, from trust with the source 192.168.14.10, and the I'm going to the external interface and 1.1. So I'm going to say to interface. What interface? So I'm going to use a question mark here. So the two interface in this case is Ethernet 1,2. That's the exit interface according to the topology. So that's Ethernet 1,2 space. So this is for the original. This is for the original packet. So for the original packet, the destination is on trust zone. So I'll say true on trust, and destination is any. I said destination is any. So another trick is once you're doing a tab and you're still seeing options, that means your syntax is still correct. Once you're doing a tab and you're not seeing options, that means your syntax is right. So you might want to trace your commands. So I'll say set rule base, NAT rule, my NAT. So it doesn't matter how long the command is or the commands are, it's just one there's a flow in the logic of the command. So you could tell it's correct. So to untrust destination any. This is my original packet. So for the translated packet, it's gonna be source NAT. So it's gonna be source translation. As you can see, if I do the tab, it's gonna give me source translation. So source translation. In this case, I need to put something here for the I need to put service under the yeah. Let's remember that now. Now welcome to under the tool interface. I need to put there's a service. If you look at it, if you remember your web UI well, you can see that there's a service and there's an option. In this case, I'll be using any. So to untrust. So it's all about knowing your web UI properly and vice versa. So source any service any to untrust destination any. So now I say source translation. This is for the original packet. The original packet stops at destination any. So I'll now say look at The translated packet now be source translation, source translation, source translation. What's the type? So it's going to be the dynamic dynamic dash IP and ports. It's going to be the interface address, of course. Interface dash address. So it's going to be, what interface is it? It's going to be interface name Ethernet 1, comma 2, and what's the IP of that interface? What's the IP? Okay, put the IP of 192. So interface address is going to 1.2. The IP is going to be 192.168.137.2 slash 24. I have to put it as it is written on the interface, as it is configured on the interface. So I'll press enter. So it's giving me an invalid, so I have to retrace my path again to see if I have any inconsistencies in my command. So I'll look at I think, let me see my, from trust, from trust source is this, to interface is this, service is any. Okay, let me trace to that point. So on trust, any, to on trust, destination is only. Destination any, and uh, destination any, and the okay, service any to on trust. That's to the on trust. That's the zone, and destination is any. Yeah, since we are going to the internet, then the source translation. So that's for the original packet. I can also say source translation. Source. So the trick is, another trick is, make sure that according to your web UI, all the um, compulsory fields, all the non-optional fields are filled. So and a good example is the destination field. Yeah, there's no way you don't put an IP address or the zones, in your NAT rule. So source translation, source translation, dynamic dash IP dash dash port interface address. Interface address. Interface address, Ethernet 1 comma 2 space IP IP. Let's see. So I think I have a format. Let me check my format. See, so if I have source service any to entrust destination inter, interface interface. Okay, interface address and interface. Oh, okay. So according to my format, is interface address. Now I have to put interface. That's what's missing. Interface. Interface. Uh, Ethernet. 1 comma 2. I can put my tab. Yeah, it's not showing me IP. Okay. Okay. So again, once so once you're doing the tab and you're not getting an option, there's something wrong. You know. So I already have a template that I had to quickly check because it wasn't giving me the tab wasn't giving me options. So this is the right format. So it has to be interface address space the interface space and then 1 comma 2, which is the external interface. So and then I'll put the IP now. So the IP is going to be 192.137.2/24, which is the IP address of the external interface itself. So you see the logic, it's quite straightforward. So all you just need to do is use your tabs correctly and understand the web UI. So set rule based natural, my natural from the trust. What that is the zone. This is source IP address. This is the IP address to be translated. The tool interface, that's the exit interface, and the service, whatever service that in the original packet to on trust, which is the to the this is part of the original packet to any destination, part of the so the source translation, that's the after translation and the translated packet. This is what it looks. It starts from here. Source translation, dynamic IP and port. We're using the interface type. You have to specify the interface and the what the interface option. Specify the exact interface, which is Ethernet 1.2 with the IP address. And you are putting the IP address according to the interface configuration, which always has this /24. So I'll press enter and I hope not to get an error. That's it. So I'll commit at this point. So let's hope that my config is working. So I'll go to my Win 7 now and I'll try to ping my where's my okay. I'll try to ping 4.2.2 as planned. There you go. There you go. I can even do a continuous ping so I can capture some sessions. There you go. There you go. That means my Win 7 is on his way to the internet. And I can capture some sessions on the firewall by saying show session, show session all. All right, I have a lot of sessions being established on the firewall. Yeah, you can see the first is session 57 ping active on the source, the destination. You can see the NAT going, you can see the destination. So that's how you do your configurations from command line. So please take your time, study properly, and definitely it's doable and pretty straightforward. All we just need to do is put some time into it. Yeah. Thank you for your time. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.